Well, part 2 of Unit 5A. And question 7 has to do with what percentage of the population reads a newspaper on a regular basis. And we need to determine which is the best way to conduct a study of this. And when it comes to reading the newspaper, well, an observational study would be the best way, as opposed to the others. And by the way, those studies can be found on page 302 to 305. Now, for question 8, we have to determine the best way to make a study of this issue. And does the new medication relieve depression? And an experiment would be the best, and double blinding. With double blinding, neither the person administering nor the person receiving knows who has the placebo and who has the real thing. So that's D. For 9, if you go to page 306, this deals with margins of error. So in a survey conducted in a certain city, it was found that 4% of men and 5.1% of women were unemployed. The margin of error for each report was 0.8%, or 0.8 percentage points. Use each sample statistic to find a confidence interval. And can we conclude that the unemployment rate is higher amongst men or women than men? Now, for men, the unemployment rate was 4%. Or the survey concluded it was 4%. The margin of error is 0.8%. So if we add 0.8% to 4%, we get 4.8%. If we subtract 0.8% from 4%, we get 3.2%. So then our interval is from 3.2% to 4.8%. Relative to women, the survey concluded that there was a 5.1% unemployment rate, and with a margin of error of 0.8%. So if we add and subtract 0.8% from 5.1%, we'll have an interval from 4.3% to 5.9%. Then the question is, can we conclude that the unemployment rate is higher amongst men than women? And the answer is no, we can't, because these intervals are overlapping. It could be the truth was somewhere between 4.3% and 4.8%. In that case, then, the unemployment rates would be identical. Now for number 10. Following the Republican National Convention, a poll of voters in a Central Illinois community showed that 58.5% would choose the Republican ticket to win over the Democrat ticket, no matter whom the Democrats chose for vice president. The margin of error was 4.4 percentage points. Should the Democrats expect to lose in Central Illinois? And so the survey said that 58.5% would choose a Republican, or the Republican. The margin of error is 4.4%. If we add and subtract 4.4% to 58.5%, we run into an interval from 54.1% to 62.9%. So our choice is B. And yes, the Democrats should expect to lose, because even with the lowest by subtracting the margin of error from 58.5%, we're still above 50%. So looks like the Democrats are going to lose that one. And we're done.